Good morning. Good morning, good people. Today is Wednesday, the 19th of November, 11/19/2025. So a couple announcements. Number one, daughter Lucy going into for what she calls induction. It used to be called, they're going to induce delivery, and now it's called induction. She's going in for induction on the 24th. So let's keep her in prayers and encouragement. Number two, today is the third annual Thanksgiving lunch for our orphans and widows, greatly sponsored by the Catholic Church. And we have some help from the Methodist Church hosting the site, providing clothing, etc., etc. We have, I think, the LDS Church will be providing pies. And let's see, what else? Who else? What else? Why else? When else? Where else? Let's see, the Lutheran Church will be present. The Tacoma Community Church, Frank Esposito, the creator of Love Thy Neighbor. Let's see, who else will be there? Well, the Trinity Church through Gloria, TPUSA, DWSS, I hope that the weather doesn't get them under. Trailways. So unfortunately, the downside is the rain. So yesterday I got stuck in the poof dirt, doing somebody a favor, taking a picture of their license plate, somebody who's out of town, Mark, my friend. And I had no thought that the car could get stuck. Fortunately, it was a Subaru, all-wheel drive, baby. Yes, good morning, what not a bevy. How's the weather? Is it wetter where you are? So I got stuck, and I figured out how to roll back and forth and gun it and get out, but that was heading in, so I still had to do the mission. Then I had to turn around and thought I could do a maneuver, and part of the maneuver got done, but I got from where I was onto like an island of solid ground where there was gravel, but then I had to cross hell. I mean, a patch. It took me about half an hour to forage for things to help me get it out. I found a shovel. I found some stuff that if I could just get in front of the tires, I could do it. Let's see. And it took a while, and it was cold, and it was muddy. This is poof dirt. When it gets wet, becomes like clay. It's very interesting. The water makes it thick and sludge-like. When it dries, it crumbles. It's sort of like baking powder, baking soda. Is you get a little bit of water. When it dries, it's hard. But then when you go like that, it falls apart, or you add water, it falls apart. So it took a while. I got pretty muddy. The car's pretty muddy. The steering wheel's pretty muddy. My clothes were muddy, but I recovered. Today I have a little bit of a sore back because I'm not used to, in that position digging out from under a car, but I will survive. So the success of the lunch will be a function of people getting there, and mostly the homeless are out in the desert and things, getting to them is going to be difficult, and getting them out is going to be difficult, and getting them to leave and have a little bit of concern of can they get back is going to be difficult. Lots of difficulties, but we will see. We'll do our best to get as many people there as we can because it's a worthy cause on both ends, helping those who need help on the one hand, and on the other hand, bringing the churches together to do what we are commanded to do, to feed the hungry, give drink to the thirsty, clothing, help the sick, help the unhoused, and help those in prison. So, yeah, so that's today. That all starts at about, I say 11 o'clock. We shall see, though, and we shall overcome. Right. Okay. So today, our theme for today is how to tell a compelling story. This is day 3 in week 3 of our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. Outside my skull-sized kingdom. Now, if you're from Pahrump, Kentucky, you would say week 3, day 3, not day 3 of week 3. Outside my skull-sized kingdom. So what are we trying to do here? We have the gift of life, the unmerited gift, unearned gift, grace of life, which really is more than that. It's the gift of a body that's unlike any other human body. It's anomalous. As the book says, the paper says, it's anomalous. We have a brain that's the most complex thing in the universe other than the universe. And we have emotions that are way beyond those of any other animals. So we have 3 gifts within the one gift. And what are we supposed to do when we get the gift? A gift is we honor the gift. We don't squander it. We honor the giver by honoring the gift. So we want to take care of ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally, and of course, spiritually. This life where we have a transcendent soul, trajectory we started. That is our goal, is to help our students and other interested people on the journey. And we do it primarily using our State Penn workbook, as opposed to the Penn State workbook. This is the State Penn workbook, meaning you have to work. It is work. And it's 4 weeks, a 4-week program that we've been doing every week since 2014. Week 1, intro and orientation. Week 2, inside my skull-sized kingdom, the neuroscience part, neurons, neurotransmitters, reticular activating system, the RAS. Inside my skull-sized kingdom. Week 3, outside my skull-sized kingdom, meaning since I know how my brain works, I know how everyone else's brain works. My goal is to get people to help me on the journey by bonding with them. Not manipulating, not going to the dark side of the force, but bonding with them so they see the world the way I see it. And when there's an opportunity, we can help each other move forward on that opportunity. And then week 4 is leadership. So if you think about this as our life is a journey, that's week 1. It's this journey, we get to experience this journey, but moving to week 2, we have to build a boat to do it. We have to have a vessel to take us on the journey. We have to build the boat. How big is the boat? What are the dimensions? And we need it to be big enough to have a hull that's big enough for supplies and treasure, our booty, the things that we collect, a place to keep us safe. We need to have sails. We need to have a good rudder system. So the rudder is like the sails is like the physical part. They actually are the things that get us from here to there. The rudder is like the brain and enables us to go against the current, use the wind, use the current to get where we want to go. The whole of the ship is the emotional part. It's where we go for safety, security. When it's hot, we go down there to be cool. When it's cold, we go there to be dry or warm. We go there to be dry. We go there for protection. That's where we go. And then the spiritual side is the actual hull of the boat. That's the thing that keeps us going. That's the thing. If the sails can fail, the rudder can fail, we can have nothing below deck, very sparse, but if the hull stays intact, we can pray that somebody will come along and help us. Okay, so this is week 3, and this is getting our crew. How do we attract people to be the crew? Because we can't sail this alone, can't go on this journey alone. We built this boat that is not designed for one person to handle. And I've got to get a good crew, because if I get a bad crew, bad things is going to happen. Thus, week 4, I have my crew. Now that the journey is afoot, the adventure is afoot. That's one word, not two, for those people from Pahrump-Kentucky. We're not saying the journey is literally a foot, it's afoot. Now that the journey's afoot, we must not screw the pooch. We can't have a mutiny. We can't change our course, do this, do that. Bad things happen. We've got to keep going forward on the journey. So that is why we're here. And today's theme is how to tell a compelling story, how to get people on to help us. Telling a compelling story is one way. Before we get there, let's look at advice from an 80-year-old. What is the advice from an 80-year-old? Become the most positive and enthusiastic person you know. I got to work on that one. Become the most positive and enthusiastic person you know. All right. Do you do that, What Not a Bevy? What a Bevy? Okay. Let's look at what Seth Godin has to say today. Kinds of stealing. Wow, it's very long. Very, very long. Too long to look at. But as with all other Seth Godin ones, I think it's probably really, really good. And it goes back to 1750 BCE, Hammurabi, the Babylonian. Okay, kinds of stealing. All right, how are we doing for time? Time, such a runic rhyme. Okay, what else do we have on our hit parade today? Simon Sinek, Daily Stoic. It's our opinions that upset us. Yeah, it's our opinions that upset us. It's not the thing. Ryan Holiday says it's not the thing, it's our opinion of the thing that upsets us. And that's what we control. That is what is in our control, how we choose to respond. Darren Hardy had a very good one today. Get what you want faster, simpler, easier. Well, the title doesn't really match it. What he was talking about. Oh, no, that was. I'm thinking about Hallow. Okay, moving forward. Okay, this week, let's just do a review of this week. How do we attract people? How do we get people on our team? How do we get people to help us do things? We started Monday, USC professor Dave Logan talking about tribes. Birds fly, fish swim, people form tribes. We're in a lot of different tribes. We have a church tribe, a school tribe, sports teams tribes, cell phone tribe. Are you an Apple tribe or are you a iPhone? A good phone tribe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Car tribe, groups of people you do things with, favorite restaurants. We're all parts of tribes. It's what people do. We're social animals. David Logan spent many, many years at the time of the TED Talk, 10 years studying tribes. And for our purposes, the easiest way to find people to help you on your journey is to join a tribe and then nudge it forward. Join a tribe and nudge it forward. So a tribe is people that have things in common. You don't just join to be a passive participant. You join and you nudge it forward. You get in the game. Tuesday, we followed along. We went to Seth Godin saying, okay, well, how do you nudge it forward? It's easy to join a tribe, but how do you nudge it forward? And he had a 4-step, correct, the German way, the 4-step process. 1, find part of the status quo to change. You can't nudge it forward if you're going to do the same thing. 2, tell a compelling story. 3, connect the true believers by saying something like, who's coming with me? We'll see on Saturday, Jerry Maguire. Connect the true believers, and most importantly, ignore the non-believers. Don't argue with them. Don't try to get them to change their mind. Just look for more people who believe your compelling story. And then 4 is lead them. And again, that's a Jerry Maguire thing. When Dorothy says now, he says, yeah, let's go now. So those are the 4 things we learned Tuesday. Yesterday from Seth Godin, today Simon Sinek. How do you tell a compelling story? And the compelling story is simply about why we need to change the status quo. Not what we're going to change, not how we're going to change it. Those come later. That's when you get your true believers and they say, okay, what do we do now? That's the what and the how. The compelling story is why we need to change the way things are. Why do we need to change this stuff? That's the compelling story. That and only that. Why do we need to change the status quo? Tomorrow, we're going to take it one step further, and that is David Phillips' The Story Before the Story. So the idea is and Simon Sinek does this on all of his talks, if you tell a story for the purpose of bonding before your story, now you have people who are bonded. They're kind of seeing the world the way you see it. So it's easier to get them to join you. And that how you do that ties into what we learned last week about neurotransmitters, getting people to feel a certain way. So if you we're going to be doing your compelling stories about doing something that's very difficult. You want to get people primed to be heroic. So you want to release oxytocin. So you want to tell a story that does that. But we'll learn about that tomorrow. Today it is how to tell a compelling story. And the answer is the story starts with why we need to change the status quo. Why do we have to change the way things are now? Why aren't they good enough? Why are they dangerous? Why are they not in alignment with Jesus's commandments? Why they're not in alignment with what is the direction we want to go for our lives? Why we need to change the status quo. Okay, so all of this is in the worksheet down below. Please go down below, subscribe, share, tell a friend, click on the bell. You know the thing, do all of that stuff. And we have our our annual Thanksgiving lunch feast for the orphans and widows and the homeless here. Spread the word. It's at the Methodist Church. See how I say that? Methodist Church. Methodist Church. It's at the Methodist Church in downtown-ish, sort of, not really, because there is no downtown here in Pahrump, Tucky. You choose. Enthusiastic, as you say, enthusiastic. Okay. Watanabe is enthusiastic. So let's go out there, make something happen. And with that, we will say our common thing of Shivas and Shalom, peace and scotch.